You ladies always want us to be vulnerable with you, right? You always want us to talk and share how we feel and what's going on with us. But if you don't open up a space where a man could be vulnerable, why would a man even want to have that conversation with you? Where you're not showing a loving, caring, and nurturing a space for him to share with you. But let me tell you who you will open that space of, Mr. Charlie, that white man at work that you call supervisor, boss, or manager. You open up a safe space for his white ass, your
Mr.
husband,
Cartwright.
your man, your significant other, the guy that gives you the butterfly, that's got that connection that makes you tingle. He's throwing 10 inches of lip dick off in your face and giving you what you're looking for. You don't hear nothing he got to say. I can agree with that, but the thing about the communication part is it's got to be both ways. It's got it, these ladies with this one-way street Clap was talking about, man. That can't be the situation. It can't be the man's always being lectured to, because he's just sitting back listening, and then when he try to start to have the conversation, you'll start talking over him, or you cut him off, or you disagree with what he's saying, and you want to try to prove you're right. Yeah, that's not helping the communication. Again, ladies, we got to communicate. It means it's both of us talking back and forth, listening as well as talking. But when it's just somebody just sitting there listening, now you're treating that man like a child and you just lecturing him. And that's not cool. So, yeah, it's got to be definitely a healthy communication takes two ways to do it. So we got to be open to do that. Hopefully, you ladies are open to have good dialogue with us 2-3 guys on the panel.
Yeah, I think Hink made a good point, because sometimes women do got to be open to receiving whatever feedback or whatever dialogue is coming from that man. I think you got to be able to receive it to make the conversation fair. I've seen it, and I'm not speaking about all women, but I've seen the situations where the minute that someone says something that they don't agree with, then they're quick to just tune out. They start doing things, picking up their phone or turning their head, or some people don't respond to that. That comes off as like disrespect, particularly with a man at times. I mean, I don't see no men saying, he's doing all that stuff like that. I see men grab their head and be like trying to brace themselves or something like that. And it could come off as being disrespectful. But I mean, sometimes men don't want to deal with that BS. They don't want to hear that BS. So if they grab their head, I think that is excusable. But when you start just doing all the body motions and checking out, men look at that as being disrespectful. So I think you have to be willing to hear that man. Sometimes when a man ain't heard, that's how he go start talking to other people, because you're not listening to him. You're not hearing him. So even if he's trying to tell you what he likes, because I thought the goal was to build a relationship. So you have to really hear what the man like. I'm only speaking about the man because of the subject, right? But men love to voice their opinions and thoughts and things, and you have to be willing to open up and listen. Sometimes it may be helpful. Go ahead, brother.
Now, I was going to say another thing is, you ladies always want us to be vulnerable with you, right? You always want us to talk and share how we feel and what's going on with us. But if you don't open up a space where a man could be vulnerable, why would a man even want to have that conversation with you, where you're not showing a loving, caring, and nurturing a space for him to share with you? But let me tell you who you will open that space of, Mr. Charlie, that white man at work that you call supervisor, boss, or manager. You open up a safe space for his white ass, your husband, your man, your significant other, the guy that gives you the butterfly, that's got that connection that makes you tingle. He's throwing 10 inches of lip dick off in your face and giving you what you're looking for. You don't hear nothing he got to say. You don't hear nothing I got to say. I'm telling you, man, I went through a traumatic thing in my childhood, right? I'm sharing that with you, but you like, it's not that bad. I mean, it was a long time ago. Heifer, I need you to be here for me. I don't need to hear it was a long time ago. What if I came to you like that? You talk about a time when your mother verbally abused you and told you wasn't shit. And I said, the girl's a long time ago. Why you still hold on to them ill feelings? No, you're going to look at me like I'm crazy. You're going to say, oh, you're so selfish. You're so insensitive. You're just so heartless. No, that's not cool. So Make yourself available for your man, for your husband. So when he wants to share something vulnerable, that's a part of that communication. Because let me tell you what's gonna happen. Like Jay said, if not, he's gonna go. He's gonna go to Nancy at the office, and he's gonna unload it on her while they're at the break table breaking bread together, eating that nasty ass mayonnaise sandwich you probably made it. And then he gonna look down that sandwich, think about your selfish ass and how I couldn't share these feelings I'm having right now with you. I got to share it with this woman across from me who doesn't have, is not blessed with my last name. And some of them don't even look like us. But then y'all gonna have ill feelings if you find that he's got a work wife. Oh, now they going to lunch outside the office. And they continue to having these vulnerable conversations to the point she's ready to do whatever you're not doing.
What?
And that means she's gonna go that fourth day of giving that man that good loving. Instead of them 2 or 3 days. Yeah, them 2 or 3 days you only willing to give. She's willing to give you 4 plus. Or then y'all gonna have some type of feelings that now y'all gonna have something to say then. Now y'all be ready to communicate then, but it's too late. He done already mentally checked out on your ass. And is not looking to get back in there because Nancy's doing everything he needs her to do.
That's a good illustration, Hink. And Big Cloud Jones, just so you know, this is a safe space. I know I appreciate the transparency, Hink, for opening up there. You know, sometimes I know men may feel like they not heard, but this is a safe space. So Cloud, when you do get the opportunity to speak, just go ahead and just let it out, let loose, brother. You ain't got to worry.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I would definitely agree with what Hink was saying, and I definitely agree with that when you don't communicate, the devil narrates. But I do think that communication is like one aspect of it, and I think that you got to couple that with like comprehension. You have to couple that with like acknowledgement, because you can communicate with someone and y'all could be communicating back and forth as much as you want, but if that person does not comprehend what you said and they can't acknowledge it and like essentially like say it back to you, you're going to have a lot of difficulty really connecting, and those words aren't going to mean anything.
We're talking about connection again. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all see how I do that? I'm a master creator too. I kind of like put the topics in together. Man. I give myself my own flowers. Go ahead, Big Cloud.
Yeah. That's all I was saying. I was saying like comprehension is extremely important. Acknowledgement is extremely important. If you're communicating with someone and they say something to you, if you can't like take in what they've said, whirl it around in your mind, understand it, and be able to say, oh, so you're saying this. Okay, I can acknowledge that you said that. Oh, so you feel like this. I feel like without that component of comprehension and acknowledgement, it's just words bouncing off each other. It's just me communicating with you, you communicating with me, but no one's receiving any of the communication.
All right, I got it. Ladies, the men have expressed themselves. Please don't poison the space right now. It's open right now. The men are being vulnerable on the panel. You guys are hearing it. We're just curious if you're going to receive it. So let's start right now. Which one of the ladies would like to go first?
I didn't hear any. Oh, go ahead.
You didn't hear anything? What?
I didn't hear anything that I disagree with the whole time. All of you were speaking. I was like, okay. I was waiting and I didn't hear anything. So yeah, I agree with everything y'all are saying. And it's a two-way street. And the way that you communicate is important because you want to be understood. So I agree with everything y'all are saying.
You got to be careful, Fantasy. They might call you a pick-me.